Hello, this is Hellsenstrat. Welcome back to this Play by Email Vs Jochen Combat. And we've been watching the combat replay for January 3rd, 1942. And do we have a good one for you this time? So, recording all these on the same day, same as the last video. With this one, I am caught up on current recordings. I'm waiting on the turn for the January 4th. Should have that hopefully today, tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to put these out every other day. The Dean game, I have been working my butt off on, and we're almost done with turn 1. So much going on. I'm just trying to finish it up, and we should get that started and going on this weekend. If you are like to stay current with playing, come check me out on Twitch. That's mostly, I do all my games on Twitch. All my my combat replays will go up there first, and then I do the actual setup. So if you have any questions you want to ask live, I can actually show you all. Come catch me out on Twitch. Hellsenstrat should be down in a link in the description below. But further ado, let's go ahead and check this out. We're playing cat and mouse with the kitty battalion and his carriers. So the question is, can I sneak around behind him, or will he catch me? I didn't think we did some math. There's no way for us to get within range this turn. So my cap is not set at max. Starting on the 4th, and that we're going up to 100% cap, because that's when we can start getting within range of each other outside of a full speed run. I think even with a full speed run, he couldn't have got to me this turn, so that's why we kept it down. Unless he did 2 full speeds in a run, which then I would just be really trouble, and he had to know exactly where I was last turn, which he didn't. So all right, so our I-122 off of Colombo does put a torpedo into the AK. Unfortunately, it's right off Colombo. It's on fire, heavy damage. But we don't hear a sinking sound this turn, so I do believe it got into port, unfortunately. Triton gets spotted by some of my sub-chasers out of Kushiro? No, Kushiro's up here. Kanoya is this one. I can't remember. I used this little port to set up one here and one here. I can't remember the name of it. All right, false spiting there. No surface combat going into. Yep. All right. I finally woke up and decided to actually use these guys that had just been parked off Copain for 3 turns. By messing up. Sorry, you'll get cut part of that out, guys. I was coughing again. Yeah, so we're just bombarding here. It's this. All we had was 1 heavy cruiser, 1 battleship, and a light cruiser, but we do pretty decent. We get a couple destroyed and a lot of 139s damage. So he's got a lot of aircraft here. Important thing is we destroyed a lot of damaged a lot of Catalinas. So hopefully these will mostly be still damaged by the time our invasion force comes down and lands. Landing at Trenjongbale. So they will now land there, and then they'll march up the coast. Landing at Jesselton. More landing. This one actually has troops there, so that's why they're firing. All right, minesweeping operations. I moved much of my DMSs into Batavia now that we captured it, so we're sweeping all the mines at Batavia. They will then proceed to move south to Sorbeja and start sweeping the mines at Sorbeja. And then they'll probably start sweeping these little bases here. All right, that's pretty much it for naval movement. As you can tell, we had a lot of mines at Batavia. Can't. All right, so I believe this is DD. Yeah, DD ISIS spots our sub and decides to try to go after it, but doesn't find it. All right, moving in the AM phase. So still spot, most of my bombers are all on ASW in the South DI just because I don't think he has any surface ships or anything in the area. So they're basically there just to cover the invasion forces. All right, still lots of bad weather over China this turn. All right, so we've spotted ships when we headed south. So I guess we actually did get into his convoy lanes and he did not get some stuff out. So we were trying to sneak around behind his carriers. Unfortunately, that's not gonna work, but we do find something that is pretty juicy and worth sinking. So we'll kind of, it's a good loss. Continuing to bomb the airfield here, making use supplies, keep the airfield from building up forts. Sweeping Brandon Egg again. We've got some sallies coming in from Palembang. These guys are just gonna, again, we're just making them use supply and trying to keep them from building forts. I'm gonna need more bombers than I actually have down there, so we'll have to work on that. That little squadron that was 3 last turn is now up to 9. Bombing the forces heading north to Cyan in the mountains. Bombing the forces accidentally here that didn't even know were there, so they just choose to bomb these. So interestingly enough, I'm bombing Cyan itself. The forces 142, looking decent. Alright, so he actually comes out with these L212s. They got like 50-pound bombs. They got like nothing, but he went for the oil to jet hull. He does get 1 hit. Unfortunately, I just don't have the cap to spread out everywhere, so he was able to get an oil hit there. Mostly I was protecting Batavia in the farther north because those have more valuable resources that he could go after. All right, so what did we spot? So we got about 100 bombers going in with 36 zeros for escort. He's got a bunch of 8Ks here. I'm gonna fast forward it. Got a couple DMs and a couple destroyers. So this is weird, right? No allied flight, no flights. These guys are carrying Warhawks. So we sink 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AKs carrying P40s. We put heavy fire damage on the DD Kinnison. We sink the DM Breeze. We put 2 bomb hits, heavy fire, heavy damage on the DM Ramsey. We put a torpedo in the DD Crane and sink her, and then we put 1 bomb hit into the DD Kitty. Guilty. All right, so we got those little earlier when you saw, or you can actually still see it down in the corner here. The Soryu and the Zuzaku flights, they come in separate. They got lost, but hey. So these 9 Valves destroy some more P-Hardswarnik when they sink 2 more AKs. Hopefully she takes some damage because she can't do some firefighting. And then the other 13 from the Zukaku come in. Puts another bomb hit into Kilty. Now she's on heavy fires, puts another one into Kinnison, heavy fires, heavy damage, and 5 bombs into AK Alaskan. It's still kicking. So pretty much I think we wipe out that task force, or that pretty much everything. You can hear other ships sinking. Looking good. So fast forward this a little bit. We do see some couple more ships that were out of range. They were spotted. So put another bombing raid on Lashio. Not doing much, but we're trying to get some damage to it, just to make him use some supply and keep him from building forts here. And that's it for PM phase. All right, I'm landing on Buford as well. And move in attack phase. Alright, so its first tank regiment is making an attack on these guys to the west of Kuala Lumpur. They don't have any AB, so it's like 2-to-1, not getting a whole bunch. So one is retreating. I believe they retreat halfway north, which is annoying. So attacking the abandoned egg, bombardment, just to keep him from here. Looks like we bounced, nothing here. And bombardment at Clark. Again, we need, I think yeah, needed more guns. The Imperial Guard doing an attack on these guys. (11 to 1), pretty much wipe out one of these guys. And then we push them into Taiping. I think one of them stays, so we'll be able to destroy that next turn, and then we'll move into Taipei. And there we go. And we take Pontiac. That's pretty much it. Ching Chung expires to 3. Singapore goes up to size 7. All right, let's take a look. So aircraft losses for the turn. We lost 3, he lost 36. So this says 41, but this isn't correct. You can kind of tell when you go over here. Air losses don't tell you anything, but destroyed on field, these are the ones on the ground. So he probably lost 35, not 36, right? So, or that's where you get the 36 here. So, but we did destroy probably at least almost 2 full squadrons of P-40Bs. He lost 2 Doak 43s to on the ground and 2 139s. That's good. We lost another Thalia, we lost a Dina Sally, and he lost one of his L212s. We did go up 1 point in army loss points this turn. I can live with that. We're still doing great here. Ship sunk. So we're claiming that destroyer, that DM, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 AKs. I believe it works out to be like if we got the full thing with enough damage, I think we getting 2 more AKs and another DM and another destroyer. So that would be nice. But more importantly, he now knows where we are. So that's not much left there. We do see these guys, but I am not willing to pursue because I messed up and left these guys on full speed. Luckily, I didn't tell them to go far. Otherwise, they would have wasted a lot more fuel than they did. So what we do is we add these guys together, refuel everybody, spread it out a little bit more, and then we're retreating. So we do that and we start heading north with everybody on full cap. So last turn, we figured he had moved north from Vavavu towards Canton. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. So you could have been right here. If he's still pursuing, he would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So somewhere in here-ish is where we're thinking he could have been this turn. He now knows that I'm here, and he does have to respect the fact that we do have these guys spotted like that. So I'm thinking he's going to start heading this way. My goal is to head north for about 2, maybe 3 turns, and then we're going to head towards Jalut and Guaja. Now, we had sent out our oilers with a lot of surface cover fleets last turn. So they ended up here. They'll probably end up around, I want to say, what do we got here? Yeah, so in 2 turns, they're going to be close to Jalut. So basically, our goal is, I can get a better look at here. Can we get there? No. All right, so we're going to head north for 2, 3 turns. up the Parma and then cut left. Meanwhile, the Oilers and them are going to come this way and kind of meet them right here. Once I get within range where I think I can get a full speed run to get in there, that's probably what we'll do. So they can do 10, 5 and 5. So that's the go. Get in there and refill. Meanwhile, over here, successful bombardment. We'll take that. We start loading up our forces in Minato. Turn on. Not this turn. Probably next turn we'll land at Kandari. Not this turn. Next turn we'll probably land at Ambon. So we'll land at Ambon and Kandari. Turn after that, or 2 turns after that, will be Makassar. These guys are loading up. They're going to head for Kopeng. These guys are loading up. They're going to be heading for Dili, I believe. We did catch these forces here, so we will attack Butsen next turn. We will attack Sorabeja next turn. We will then proceed to take this and head north along the road all the way up to Sabang. These guys will continue to Bekon and can pursue these guys. We're loading the supply here. These guys will be heading to Trandasar. We'll get at least 2 Naval Guard, probably more like 3 Naval Guard units in Trandasar to cross into Tarakan, and same for Balikbakan. We'll continue pursuing these guys and destroy as much as these guys as possible. Or obviously we're going to destroy them all. We have reached Pegu with the tank regiment. We're going to wait for the other forces to head in before we head into Rangoon. Biggest things besides that, we see a lot of movement in China. So he's moving a lot of troops out of Changsha. He's moving a lot of troops out of Chengta. So this way and this way. These are mostly all the troops that went south from Chang. So he's got a lot of AV on the move. We're moving as fast as we possibly can up for Ankang. We did manage to catch up to probably those 2 units we already wrecked here. We'll probably finish them off this turn. And said we're moving as fast as we can to here. We have managed to cut these guys off, which is great. So we will kind of surround these guys. And probably leave like a small, like this guy surrounding them. So we'll lock out like 400 or 500 AB, I think, hopefully. We'll have to see how much he's got there. But we will be probably destroy these guys this turn. We'll probably be into Cyan by the 6th of January. He's still got a lot of troops there, but we got a lot of AV here, and I'm willing to attack him with that. So, again, these guys are on their way to here to cut off as many of these troops as we can. We'll continue bombing them. That's the goal. We finally got that damn base force out, so we have our engineers on the way to Leh. This is when we loaded up those engineers units to land here. I think we got a total of 3 engineering units. The first engineer, so these 3 engineering units here that will be heading to Clark, and then we will be actually taking these engineering units here, heading to Clark as well. As many engineers as we can get in there to help lower the forts and terrain advantage as we can get, because we want to reduce Clark, and then all those engineering units and all them will then head down to Bandaneg, and we'll try to reduce that one as quick as possible. Intel 8239 again, which is just to the north here. So we know he's got troops here. He's moving more and more here, I'm guessing. He's probably going to do like these 2, and this is going to be his defensive positions up here, which is fine with me, because then we will try to encircle and cut these guys off and get them at industry. We haven't done industry in a while. Look at our R&D. All right, so now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our 15 factories are now above 10. We got several getting close to going up as well, because we need to get these all to 30 before April. Sam's, we got a couple on 1s, nothing big surprising there. We got a decent Jill factory here at 4 for 43. I approve of that. Den, it's nothing super exciting. I think we do have a decent, I want to say Frank. Yeah, we have a 4 of Frank, which is great. If this guy keeps getting lucky, it'd be great, because once you get one of these, it will start increasing it, and every time you take a month off, it's going to make it much better, right? And several 3s on Georges and things like that in France. So, yeah. Looking good there. I believe it's 2 to 3 turns. Unfortunately, Sapporo is low on supply, and I had not sent the ship out, so I had to send some supply to Sapporo. So these factories are going to be a couple turns out before they can upgrade. But we will start in 2 turns. We'll start researching the HA 43 and getting it going. In 2 turns, the HA 45 will start going. So as you can tell, we're still building up the HA 35 and HA 34 for engine bonuses and get those the way we need to get them. So all in all, not too bad. We are now only 69 points away from tying the score in January. So all in all, we'll take that. Decent. So next few turns will be tents. We're going to be heading north. 3 turns. We'll pretty much probably going to leave these guys on max cap. We'll leave 2. We'll kind of change these guys out. So whoever the most fatigued is will actually not be on cap. They'll switch over to escort. These guys actually got some fatigue this turn because they were on escort and they actually flew. But I believe these guys build up cap a little bit quicker. So the least tired will be set on our cap. I also put every single float plane we have on cap. So, which gave us like an extra 15 load cap. So now the goal is to get out. I wouldn't necessarily say no to a carrier engagement. What I'm really worried about is we're low on fuel and I don't have a lot of surface forces covering me. So I'm more worried about surface forces. So I'm hoping we can pull north and we can get lost in like a storm cloud or something here. Maybe. So it's overcast, which is good. It's rain down here. So I'm hoping we can get lost next turn. So light rain, yeah. So if we can move north, get lost. If he heads this way to protect his convoy lanes, we might get away with our strike, get back. We got to get these guys back to port. They're starting to build up some engine damage. They're starting to build up some fucking system damage. So we need to get these guys back into port to repair, replenish our aircraft, let everybody rest up. So we will be heading back to truck. After that, we're going to head down and cover Port Moresby and then maybe a Luganville and a New Caledonia invasion starting off. So that's where we are in the state of the game, guys. So like I said, we should have a video back, or these videos should be out every 2 days. This one should be coming out probably on Saturday. I might do it quicker depending on how quick I could get these edited. And then because we should have the January 4th here shortly and catch up. So I will catch you guys later.